You know that feeling, right? Fighting the water, feeling like you're working way too hard for how fast you're going. Well, what if I told you the secret to swimming faster has almost nothing to do with muscling through it? We're going to unlock a smoother, more powerful stroke, not by working harder, but by making a few simple tweaks. Let's turn that fight into an effortless glide. So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the number one problem that holds swimmers back. Then, we'll get into the basic physics of speed in the water. After that, we'll dive into the three big fixes: body position, breathing, and your pull. And finally, we'll talk about how to actually practice all this so it sticks. Does this look familiar? You hop in the pool, you feel great, but then 2 laps in, you're totally out of breath, your arms feel like concrete, and you're just wondering, how does anyone make this look so easy? I promise you are not alone. And the reason isn't that you're out of shape. It's because you're battling a powerful, invisible enemy called drag. Okay, get this. Water is 800 times denser than air. Just let that sink in for a second. That's insane, right? Imagine trying to sprint through something 800 times thicker than the air around you. That's exactly what you're doing in the pool. You just can't power through that. You have to learn how to be slippery. And that brings us right to the heart of the issue for most swimmers. You're probably working incredibly hard, but all that amazing effort, it's getting pointed in the wrong direction, creating more resistance instead of more speed. When you're swimming, it feels like you have to think about a million things, right? Your kick, your hands, your rotation, your breathing. It's overwhelming. So let's just forget all that noise for a minute. We're going to narrow our focus to just 3 things that really matter: your body position, your pull, which we call the catch, and of course, your breathing. So, how do we fix this whole wasted effort problem? Well, it all comes down to a super simple rule of physics that controls literally everything that moves through water. Listen up, because this is the most important takeaway. Your number one job in the water, before anything else, is to decrease drag. Think of yourself as a sleek torpedo, not a big, clunky barge. Only after you've made yourself as streamlined as possible should you even start to think about pulling harder. So many people get this completely backward, trying to yank themselves through the water while their body is shaped like a parachute. All right, let's tackle the biggest drag creator of them all: your body position. I'm telling you, fixing this one thing will give you the single biggest aha moment in your swimming. Just look at the difference here. Swimmer B on the right is looking forward. It feels natural, right? You want to see where you're going. But that one little move is a secret anchor. It's pulling their whole body down. Now look at swimmer A. They're just trusting that black line on the bottom of the pool. Let's see what kind of a huge difference this makes. See what happens? Because swimmer B's head is up, their hips and legs sink like a rock. They're basically trying to swim uphill against a wall of water. It's exhausting. But swimmer A, head down, in line with the spine, and boom! Their body is a flat, perfectly balanced plank, just gliding on the surface. And look at those pointed toes. That's the finishing touch that turns you from a barge into a spear. This is the feeling you are chasing. When you get your body position right, head down, chest pressed, hips high. It should feel like gravity is helping you, like you're literally swimming downhill. You're using the water, not fighting it. Okay, so you've nailed that perfect flat body line for about 5 seconds. Then you have to breathe, and suddenly your legs are sinking again. Sound familiar? Breathing is the number one thing that messes up a good streamline. So let's fix it right now. Just think of it as 4 quick actions. First, bubbles out. You need to be exhaling the entire time your face is in the water. That way, your only job is to inhale. Second, roll as one piece. Your head doesn't turn on its own, it rolls with your body. Third, keep one eye on the water. You only need to turn enough to get your mouth clear. And finally, number 4, quick sip of air and your face is right back down. So how often should you do this? Look, if you're working on this, forget about breathing to both sides for now. Just focus on breathing every 2 strokes to one side. Get comfortable. Build a rock-solid rhythm. Once that feels totally automatic, then you can start playing with breathing every 3 strokes to build a more balanced stroke. All right, we're streamlined. We can breathe without sinking. Now let's talk about the engine. Let's talk about how we actually pull ourselves through the water with some real power.
Now, here's the thing. You don't pull with your hand. You pull with your entire forearm and hand, working together like a giant paddle. The fancy term for this is early vertical forearm, or EVF. A great way to think about it is like you're reaching over a big barrel. You want to get that elbow up high and get your whole forearm pointing down at the pool floor as soon as you can. That gives you the biggest possible surface to pull water with.
And what about your actual hand? Well, if your fingers are spread wide open, water's just slipping right through. If they're clenched in a tight fist, you're just creating tension. The sweet spot is a relaxed but firm hand, with just a tiny natural gap between your fingers. Think like you're holding an egg. That creates a powerful, stable paddle. And here's the best way to feel this. A powerful freestyle pull uses the exact same big, strong muscles in your back, your lats, that you use to do a pull-up. If you can focus on driving that elbow down and feeling your lats fire up, you know you're doing it right. You're connecting your arm to your powerful core, and that's where the real speed comes from. So you've got all these new ideas. Awesome! But how do you actually practice them so they become second nature instead of just getting tired and going back to your old, inefficient habits? Let's look at 2 ways to train. On the left, you've got just swimming nonstop. Sure, it builds endurance, but as you get tired, your technique is the first thing to go. But on the right, you have interval training. By breaking up your swim into shorter, faster chunks with rest, you can focus on swimming every single lap with perfect technique. You're teaching your body and your brain how to be fast and efficient. So, let's wrap this all up. Here is your checklist for the next time you hit the pool. Number 1, are you thinking slippery first, power second? 2, are your eyes glued to that black line on the bottom? 3, are you blowing out bubbles the whole time your face is in the water? 4, are you pulling with your whole forearm? And 5, are you breaking up your workout into focused, high-quality chunks? Okay, after all that, what is the single biggest change you are going to focus on the next time you get in the water? Don't try to do everything at once. Just pick one thing, nail it, and you will be amazed at how much faster you can swim.